Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Werewolf, the Wild West Chronicle. I'm the Reverend Sarkhan. My name is Will, and I'll be your storyteller this evening. And last we left off, because it's been a while, we opened up with Cora coming down and seeing that Garrett was talking to a new employee named Clayton Brown. We got to see that Liana went over to the post office, and we got to see a little bit of the technology in the city as the postal office worker, Mr. Benjamin Fallover, had to deal with a telegram machine and nearly burned his fingers off. We got to see that Walks take some time in the morning to commune with nature, and that this morning in particular he got to meet the Mountain-Born Pack, which was led not by their Arun, but by their Red Talon Theurge. We got to see that artists exchange pleasantries with Garrett, and how the new guy kind of doesn't know anything about boundaries, as he helped her from one side of the bar to the other. And then during breakfast, we got to see everyone kind of talk to Clayton, find out that he is kinfolk, that he is in the loop as far as their world is concerned. And then right as breakfast was coming to an end, the Naga of the circus party, Germán Alcaldes, came in to let them know that they were attacked in the night, and that there's some kind of lone wolf who can hide his taint and his scent from him. He mentioned having sent word to the cairn, but their alpha declared it a city matter and refused to help them. And so we split up for a bit. A couple of them went to see Doc, who was drinking breakfast. Walks described his interaction with the new pack and learned that they had been invited to help the area by the Alpha himself once this pack left to California for helping out artists. But he warned the group to be careful, since they tend to lead by birth, not by gender, as the Hamid are actually the second-class citizens in that pack. And then they revealed what they had learned from Germán, and as far as Barnabas is concerned, that they found out is the name of the Tainted Wolf. He has been seen around the edges of the city, and that he might have been a Silver Fang and a Philodox at one point, so to be wary of what gifts he might have available before he turned to the worm. And Doc also warned them about the image of what had become of the Ananasi as far as the circus is concerned. And we left off with them heading back to the Gilded Apple to kind of gather up and hitch their horses. And that's not what we're picking up with our lovely faces. It's good to see all of you again at the table. I'm so excited to get back to this. We're jumping to February 24th. It is currently the waning crescent, so it is the Theurge moon. And it has been a hot winter. That evening, instead of being able to help Germán and the pack of Farah at the circus, you got there to see it burning. The primary attack was not a singular event. Whatever Barnabas had him planned, he came back, and he decimated the circus. The Farah were burnt to a crisp, along with any kinfolk and workers they might have had there. The issue, once Doc was allowed to check the bodies, is that only the bodies of the Farah had stab wounds. They would have been missed otherwise by a typical regular human doctor, but Doc kind of knew what to look for, and although they were consistent with a glaive, it was not anything gruesome it was definitely something that could have been in the realm of possibility of like a burn puncturing and pulling the skin to create that kind of wound. But he would have bet his soul on it having been done by a glaive. But after the circus was decimated, things got quiet. It seemed like the Pharaoh had incurred the wrath of this Ronin, this tainted wolf. And then once they were gone and dealt with, it turned its attention elsewhere. Things have settled in the town. The Gold Digger is still the premier place to go to. The Silver Star is when you're not having the best of luck, and then the Gilded Apple is nestled right in the middle of the two of them. The train station has seen a boost as the owner of the Gold Digger has donated some funds to kind of liven up the city after the tragedy that was the circus. And so that's set to be done at the end of winter. So a whole season ahead of schedule, because they were expecting to be done by summer. Now they're going to be done in the spring. And they're looking to immediately start laying track down, heading into California. It has come to your attention that this is the last week, really, that the Corax is going to stay in town. He has come and gone, delivered messages, and been flying back and forth from the Three Rivers cairn to this cairn. And you know that they're no longer dealing with the Rokea, and so they're in a nice kind of boom. Some of their lupus have given birth already to the next generation, and they're hoping that a good portion of the cubs that were born are going to be changers. But we open up in the morning. Breakfast is served. Wax has come in from his morning little walkabout. Liana's coming down. Cora's already down there. Clayton has memorized your preferences as far as morning is concerned. How much food to slop onto a plate, how much coffee, and with what cream and sugar should you take that. And so it's given Garrett a nice kind of help. So he leans back on the bar now. He's not on top of everybody like he used to be. There's a lot of trust that has befallen on Clayton. How is everybody doing this morning?
Well, thank you, Clayton. I'm going to sit down and start eating.
Mm-hmm. I think Cora just she sits down, she gives acknowledgement, but I think the main thing is she turns to Garrett and it's like, wow, it's a new side of you to see you so relaxed.
He smiles and kind of throws the washcloth over his shoulders. Like, well, at some point I thought I'd either die cleaning this bar or retired somewhere in California, but this is not a bad in between.
California is nice.
Yeah, so you keep telling me. Wish I could have gone with the rest of you.
I know. It wouldn't have been as fun. It was very much a work trip.
I understand. I mean, things here have slowed down. The winter's been kind of nice for that. Hopefully things will pick up as the sun starts to eat up more of the day than it has been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels like the Gold Digger's been the only spot in town to really get any action.
I know. I don't know exactly what to do to drum up more business.
We got our regulars. They know we'll take care of them.
I know, but it just annoys me that a place like that has all the business.
I mean, it's not like they're doing black magic to get all their clientele,
It's true.
You got a sixth sense for that.
For black magic?
For sensing black magic, Cora. If you've been doing black magic behind my back, I need to know.
Oh no. No, I would never go there.
There's things that I've wanted. Regardless of the price
that
I
you
gotta
would sell
pay.
your soul for,
Um
Garrett?
I don't know if I would sell it, but I would definitely rent it.
You'd let somebody borrow it for a while.
Yeah, I learned a lot from watching you and Layla.
Black magic is no joke, Garrett.
Oh, I didn't mean any offense
As
by it.
solemnly as I can.
Yeah. And he's like, I didn't mean any offense by it. I didn't know your people believed in that kind of thing.
You don't need to believe in it for it to be real.
Never thought about it that way.
I mean, there are very strange things that happen. I mean, we had a ghost.
Let's not bring that up. Layla's still afraid to go into that room.
That's fair. She's always.
Say
What's
again?
that?
The ghost here?
The ghost is gone.
That was before.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never experienced ghosts before.
It was a tumultuous time, if I'm using that word correctly, Miss Cora.
You are?
Just learned it last week, so I'm taking it out for a spin, giving it a dance.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's about to say something, there's a knock on the door frame that leads into the saloon, and you'll see the jittery, thin frame of the Corax. He's got this wild kind of mussed up mop of black hair, these piercing blue eyes, very thin, very much like a emaciated Adam Driver. It's like if Adam Driver had the body of Christian Bale from The Machinist, like that's what the Corax would look like.
That's what I was thinking. The moment you said emaciated, not skinny, emaciated. That's
This is
what my brain.
weird. This is a weird image.
The clothes make it look weirder. The first time you met him, he was naked. He has no concern for clothing. But Doc has given him a set of clothing and instructed him to wear them within the town limits because people tend to frown on public nudity. And so he has been wearing hand-me-downs, as it were. But they're definitely for people that have more meat on their bones. And so they kind of look sad, almost like a Schindler's List kind of sad. Yeah.
They make him look smaller.
Mhm.
That's what it does, right?
Mhm.
Basically.
Yep. So, but he has this OCD-ish habit of knocking before he goes into places, even if there's no door. Like if there's a door frame, he'll knock.
Mm.
He kind of sticks his head in. You see him kind of tilt from side to side. And when he sees you, he raises his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Coffee?
Coffee. coffee. And Garrett just kind of looks at you and looks at him, and then looks back at you, and just slowly shakes his head. And Garrett, unfortunately, has had to deal with him the most. And if you don't know how Corax act, they are the most unhinged of the Thera. They have big crow and raven energy. So they're kind of always tilting, looking around, taking everything in. They deal in secrets. They love gossip.
Mm-hmm.
So he waddles over. I sit. Okay, sit.
Yep.
Oh,
Pulls
Yeah.
the chair out for him.
yep. And instead of sitting down, he actually will climb up onto the chair and just kind of squat onto it. And his hands are up here.
Mm-hmm. Slide the cup over.
Ooh, coffee. This coffee. And he grabs it and tries to put his whole face into the cup, but ends up remembering how to drink. Good coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Crow spirit come. He say leave town. So I leave town. Wanted to say goodbye. And then again, he says that to all of you in turn. He says to say goodbye. Takes another drink of his coffee. I didn't know. Was that funny for you?
Goodbye.
You okay? No. Easy.
I
Was
went
it-
down the wrong pipe.
Was it a peep?
No.
A whole peep.
The whole peep
No, not a whole peep.
fighting for its life.
Hot cocoa.
Nope, it's Cocoa.
Mm.
Peeps are the best for hot cocoa, just everyone. Everyone watching now.
I mean, they're not, but okay.
That's the best way
That's
to use
your
a peep.
opinion.
I am not a fan of peeps. I will not hide that.
That's perfectly fine. I wasn't a fan until I figured out this method of dealing with them.
Dealing with them. I like that.
The fact that you have to deal with them in the first place means they're not good.
But he drinks a cup of coffee, and as he puts it down, you see that his body becomes rigid, and his mouth opens, and there's a voice that isn't his that comes out. And for a moment, all of you are looking around to see if anybody else is picking up on this, but everybody's frozen. It's almost like you were pulled into the Umbra for just this moment. But he says, beware, the sun now slumbers. The wolf prowls at the gate. Beware the even number, the twisting barb of fate. Beware the friendly smile and face. Their hunting time grows near. Beware the binding chains of lace. Their hunger now you'll fear. And as he kind of shakes his head, everything kind of resumes. You hear the noises of the town coming back out of nowhere. Garrett drops a cup and curses under his breath. But he kind of startles himself. Oh. Crow Spirit spoke. Crow Spirit chose me. Crow Spirit happy.
On a separate level, that's actually really cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cora's going to reach into her pouch and she's going to pull out a couple of coins. Shiny, pretty color, and slides it over.
For me?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, trinket. And he grabs it. And he's about to put it in his mouth. And then he stops and goes, pockets. And he puts them in his pockets. One in each.
Do
For
Do you know
something to
what
write
any of
with,
that
and
meant?
it's trying to remember everything that was just said. It's struggling.
Yeah. But he looks around and he finishes the coffee. I go now. And he starts to waddle towards the door.
Safe travels.
Many thanks. Many goodbyes. And he walks out. There's a moment where he looks around and then he just takes off his clothes. He grabs the coins out of his pockets, puts it in his mouth, and shifts into a large bird right there in the middle of the street and just flies off. Corax don't give a fuck.
They really don't.
I'm gonna get up and go pick up his clothes.
Okay.
Take a look around. See
No-
if anybody's
nobody's on the
gawking.
street.
Oh, good.
Nobody's on the street.
It wasn't that careless.
How is nobody there? Like, it's really that dead?
It's morning
Conflict,
and
Colorado.
it's been snowing. So a lot of people are still inside, kind of huddled by their fires.
They're warming up. They're thawing themselves out for the
Wait.
day.
You told us at the beginning it was the hot winter snowing.
No, it was hot because of the fires that ate up the carnival. It was a metaphor.
I mean, even if it was a hot winter, it could still be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Siberia, the average is like negative 35 or something like that.
Jesus,
Like some
that's not a real
craziness.
number. But yeah, you see that Garrett is cleaning up the broken mug. Clayton kind of comes over. Is the bird gone? Because
Yes, and
He-
he won't be back.
he creeps me out.
It's okay.
Okay. Can't take anything
he-
away?
She probably grabs up her plate and it's like, I'm finished.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. He'll grab some plates and walk off.
I almost thought you said fuck off instead of walk off.
He walks off.
He fucks
I
off.
mean, fuck off, too.
Yeah, he could take a break
I
and
know.
walk
Season,
off.
new tone.
Like, goodbye.
Yeah. And just throws the plates at the wall. You're done with them.
Opa.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Opa!
Hey, you know what? Maybe that would get more customers.
Yeah.
Throwing plates at walls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It might be.
That's just me. This has nothing to do with
Yeah.
Liana.
It might. It might just be that the Uzo is keeping people away.
Are we turning this into a Greek
Bottle of
restaurant?
it here. It's my bottle.
No, we're just turning it into a Greek restaurant.
There's already enough malakas.
So many malakas here.
So many malakas.
So many.
But you'll hear a door close upstairs, and Layla is dressed in her not her fancy gown. I think she has like 2 or 3 robes. One is like super fancy, one is everyday fancy, and the other one is like, I don't want people to see me in this. She's in her I don't want people to see me in this robe.
Oh.
But she comes down and she plops in the seat that the Corax was just squatting in.
What's wrong?
Men are animals. And
Yes.
she looks at you, walks, like, no offense.
No, I'm an animal.
How true
I would
that
have
is.
to agree with you. Are you okay, Layla?
Yeah, what's...
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Oh, was it him?
Mm,
The person you've been sweet on?
they is the proper term, I think.
What happened?
Oh, you know.
Cora's done the immediate slide over,
hmm
and like the chair. Kind of what happened?
He wasn't rough or anything like that. Don't get excited. It's just we've been seeing each other now since around December. He still hasn't wanted to make anything formal.
Mm.
And when I told him that it would, bring me joy to kind of have someone I could trust, he said thank you, and he walked home.
That's weird.
I've never had that happen before.
That makes no sense.
Right?
Was anything else off about that encounter besides thank you and walk home?
I think it's the work that he's been doing. I don't quite like that he puts in hours over at the gold digger. I told him to come here, that you would find a place for him if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
That Garrett's not the bullfrog he looks like. And you hear from behind the bar, with all due respect, go fuck yourself. And she just looks at you and kind of like points at Garrett. I was like, you see that kind of disrespect that I've been dealing with ever since Clayton arrived? Thinks he's the big man now because he's got backup.
What kind of work did he do over at the Gold Digger?
He's an accountant for Miss Smythe. I hear.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to some of the girls that work over there, and I hear they call her the Countess.
Mm.
Why is that?
Probably to do with her cash, the amount of money she throws around. Some say that she's the actual owner of the gold digger, and then Mr. Gentry's just a face. But that don't make any sense. A woman can't own business out here unless, there are extenuating circumstances. Like ours.
Mm-hmm.
And she pats Cora's hand.
It doesn't make any sense, but maybe there's. Would you like me to talk to him?
No. I'll get over it. He's a man. They come and they go. They come again. And they go again.
Mm-hmm. Always too soon.
Would it hurt to just last a little longer? Work on your stamina, for Christ's sakes. And she looks around. Good, Miss Hardis isn't around. I would have had to prostrate myself.
And this is where Cora gives Layla a hug. That big comforting kind of warmth that she's trying to extol. It'll be all right. I
Yeah.
still think something's weird about it.
I know. She might have gotten her hooks into him. And, I don't offer the same life that she does, so he might be holding out for a bigger fish.
Hmm.
I'm gonna grab
Another
some food.
Malacca.
The town is full of them, and as she says that, you see Doc come in, and she's like, "Oh, this one's coming for you." And she gets up and heads to the kitchen, and you see her flick the bird to Garrett as she walks by him. And Garrett's just kind of like, "You just gonna let that happen?"
What do you want me to do about it? You know, Layla.
And Doc comes over. He's like, may I sit with the group?"
Of course.
And you see he has his
I'm gonna hand
medical
him
bag.
over the clothes.
Oh, you left finally?
He's gone.
You see he opens up his medical bag and he folds the clothes and he puts them in. Miss Cora, any of your girls sick?
She looks at Garrett, trying to verify.
Shakes his head.
Nothing that we've seen so far.
Hmm.
If you want, I could call them down and.
No, I trust you. We've there's been this strange cough kind of floating around. I just wanted to see if it's come here and whether or not it's affected you. People are, and he lowers his voice and kind of leans into the group. People are coughing up glass. Like their saliva has hardened, and we've already had 2 people that have drowned in their own blood from coughing.
Oh my goodness.
I just want to see if it's come over here. I know that it affected one of the boys over at the Silver Star.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep an eye out.
Do you know where this started?
I don't, but I think that it might have been something to do with the jail, because the first casualty was a deputy named Clarence Douglas. I don't know if you recognize him. He's been around. He might have come in here once or twice. He was very much of a man trying to fight sin. So, but I don't know whether it was somebody that was in the jail or whether it was something else. Because the second one was Miss Gabrielle, the sister-in-law of the general store owner, Gabrielle Dumond. She was found like a day or 2 after what happened to Clarence. So right now we think Clarence was the first. Just
Have you seen anything like this before?
nothing like this before. Even when
Is this something that we might just recognize? Is this like a cursey kind of thing that we know? No, just to make sure.
it has the telltale signs of a curse.
All
But he's like, even when I kind of pried out one of the shards in their throats, it never softened back up into saliva. Like it was crystalline, cold. I put it to a candle and it did not melt either.
Out of curiosity, did you do autopsies on these bodies?
No, I let them have some dignity in their death.
I just feel like that would give us an answer on what's going on.
I mean, I didn't smell anything on them, if that's what you're hinting at. They didn't have any of the taint running through them, which is why I'm kind of at odds with what's happening, and I wanted to see if anybody else was dealing with it. I would have asked Charlie to come and help, but the Alpha's got him burning the candle at both ends.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Quite demanding.
very. The rumblings are, though, that one of the other ruins is getting sick of it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a challenge in the near future.
Which one?
I can't say for sure, but it's not a red talon. I think it's one of the silver fangs from that other, not the mountain born, but the other pack that kind of watches the bond.
Think they've got a shot at it?
And I don't know. The Alpha's an Athro, and the closest Arun that we got to that is maybe an Adrian. And I know that rank doesn't mean anything, but like, that's a lot of experience between those people.
Yeah. It's very, it always complicates things.
Yep.
Do you still have the glass? Or
I have
we
some.
Take a look at one of the bodies.
I have some that well, the bodies have been interred. I think Father Ignacio has put them into the earth already. I did keep some of the shards from each of them. They're not uniform, if that's what you're looking for. It's very much kind of like snowflakes.
I know that you are the doctor, but I do have my own expertise to see in these things.
Trust me, I know that you're a crescent moon, so I did not just come here to regale you with the story. I was hoping you would step up for whatever the challenge this may be.
Walks with spirits will obviously help, and I'm sure this will be an easy challenge for him.
Well, I can try.
Sure.
He has the bits of glass on him?
No, he left them in his office.
Yeah.
This,
but it's very much that kind of, Cora's throwing her full support at her pack Crescent Moon.
Yeah. If you want to go back to the office, I just really wanted some coffee. That wasn't mine because mine is terrible. I don't know what
Please have some.
I don't know what it is that I'm doing to it, but I'm just butchering it every time. And he does kind of motion, and Garrett brings him a mug.
Garrett, you have any tips on brewing coffee for the doctor?
Damn. I think boil your water before you put the beans in. Strain it, because sometimes you don't crush the beans enough, and sometimes you need a good straining. And I think don't let it sit there for more than 10 minutes. And the doc just kind of laughs. Yeah, that's that might be what it is. I brew it and then I forget about it, and then I go and drink it like an hour or so later. So now I know I gotta keep an eye on it. But he downs his coffee. All right, so we all going back to the office, or am I just taking your native friend?
I'll be going with you as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Miss Cora, I'll take
Have
my
we ever
leave.
been
of
in
you.
Doc's office?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we've been in his office before.
Yeah. But he takes walks in Liana. And when you get out to his office, you see that there's an older gentleman already kind of standing out at the door, just kind of bundled up and shaking. And he's like, Doc, I don't feel good, and I was wondering if you could take a look. And Doc's like, yep, come on in. Don't mind my associates. They're helping me out. He unlocks the door. He leads him in. And he immediately goes over and kind of sits on the examining chair, which is the barber's chair that he has. And you hear him coughing. And as he brings his handkerchief up to his mouth and he brings it down, you'll notice that there's like red spotting on it. And he's like, I don't know what came over me, Doc. I just don't like that I'm losing work because of this cough. It hit me like the day before yesterday. He's like, all right, relax. He grabs 2 little vials and he hands one to each of you. And you'll see that one is marked with the symbol for female, and the other one's marked with the male symbol. Here you go. This is why I wouldn't mix them up. And he goes over to the prospector. He's like, all right, Julius, let me see what you got going on with you. But what do you guys want to do with these little vials of what look like glass shards? Thin.
What kinds of tools and books and resources are available in this?
Couple of books on like different body parts. There's rudimentary kind of like, if there's gangrene, this is where you would best cut off the appendage. Very, very like old pre-1840s kind of information. Definitely like a couple decades.
Magnifying glass or microscope or anything?
There is what looks to be a half moon shaped magnifying glass. It looks like it was cracked in an outburst of anger. But it looks like
Not helpful.
Yeah, the center of it looks like it could be magnifying in a way that a bifocal would be magnifying. There's no what's it called, microscope. Couple of tweezers, pliers, saws. There's some dentistry equipment. There's barber equipment. Rudimentary stuff. There's bandages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is definitely not like a hospital.
I'm just gonna be like examining it, like looking at these shards and trying to like shake them and see if I can feel that there's something still dangerous or strange about them before opening the little container that they're in.
No, they, aside from just looking like broken shards of glass, like their edges have rounded out. They don't look sharp at all.
Almost like a sea glass texture.
Yeah.
I wish I had all of the tools to like obviously this would be super modern. This is my like current day thinking. I want to like break it down and look
Yeah.
for DNA.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
I think that's what I'll end up doing. I'm gonna just practice occult upon. I'm gonna take the glass out of the container onto the whatever the cleanest little surface is.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
There's a table that has like a not immaculately white cloth on it, but it is kind of worn and used white, weathered white cloth. That looks like the cleanest surface there is.
and I'm just going to, yeah, I guess. Well, I'm not sure what the specific practices would be, but you know, when's the last time we saw those little friendly, ghostly spiders?
The Weaver spirits.
Yeah,
Anytime that you go,
but
that
the
you're
ones that
in
were
the town.
friendly, not the
Oh, the
because there was
friendly.
like the one or two little friendly spiders that we sort of. I think we went off on our California adventure and just sort of lost touch, or
Yeah,
we got shot
yeah.
and lost touch.
They might be around. You have to go looking for them.
That's what I'm going to try to you know I guess I could try. I've got summon spirit.
Okay, yeah, you could try to summon a Weaver spirit. It's gonna be too hard in town.
How this doesn't have to be a grand thing, right?
No, no.
We could do this here, and they'll be over there at the other side of Doc's office, and it won't be too much of a problem.
Yeah, no, no. It's not. Doing things with spirits isn't terrible. As far as like regular humans are concerned. If you were a mage, you would need to like go into a different room, turn off the lights, make sure that fucking reality can't see you, and then pray that you don't fuck it up so that you can actually summon the spirit. But you're using your the urge summon spirit.
Yeah. Well, I've got Wait, is that what it's called? Yeah, the right
Oh,
of summoning.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, unless it's because I know that's like pulling them out from like far in the Umbra, but I remember these little guys were just like around.
Yeah, we were when you're looking for a spirit that's in abundance, there's not a lot that you have to do. But with a right, there's usually some ritual aspect to it. So what is your ritual of summoning these little spiders look like?
So I've got my medicine pouch.
Mhm.
I'm going to lay out a bit of a cleaned up leather sheet. Put the glass in the center of it, and try to put. I've got a keepsake from. Oh, what's his name? Oh, uh, our former compatriot who
Pepe?
could. No, no, no. Who could? Who talked to the Weaver, the Iron Rider. Oh my goodness,
Oh yeah, Mr. Cartwright.
Mr. Cartwright. Yeah,
Nope.
it was 4 years ago.
It's been a while. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
but he was the one who was, always with close to the Weaver little spirits. And so it's just going to be me, like trying to simulate drawing out little patterns of a web
Okay.
around and around, as if to say, I'm making a home for you.
Okay.
And
So let's have you roll your gnosis
oh my goodness,
because you've got to
against
pierce.
the local level.
Yeah, because you got to pierce the gauntlet. And here it's only 7. So
rolling the gnosis is just a flat, like the
Yeah.
got 4 pips of gnosis. Okay.
so it's 4 dice.
I don't think I pierce shit. Yeah, what's the difficulty?
7.
Oh no, all failed.
Okay.
Including a 1.
Oh, so you botched.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no.
did I tear a hole in the gauntlet?
No, you don't tear a hole in the
We get a
gauntlet.
spooder?
You don't get a spooter either. So 1 second, Liana is standing, kind of helping and doing her own thing, and you see that the Wax is going through this ritual to just make everything look presentable. He's kind of drawing webs with his fingers. It looks mystical. It looks like this is some crescent moon shit, like some theurge spirits are gonna come out of nowhere and just hug him, and he's gonna be great. And then he disappears.
Fascinating.
He just vanishes, and Julius, who is sitting there being taken care of by Doc, starts to scream, and he runs out.
Are we all
And
in? Wait, were we all in one room?
it was a large room, but yeah, you were in a room. And Doc just kind of looks over and is like, all right, well, I'll take care of that. What the fuck just happened?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea.
Where's the theurge?
He he walked out through the back door.
All right. All right. I'm gonna handle Julius. I don't understand when to go, and he chases after the gentleman that was coughing. How is Liana gonna try to find Walks?
Probably by calling out first. Walks, are you here?
Storyteller, am I there?
How familiar
You
am I
are-
with what he was doing?
Do you have any rights? Do you have any points and rituals? I don't think you do.
I'm
Oh, you
lost.
do. Yeah, you do. You got 2 points of rituals. It looks like he was doing a ritual. But it looked like when he was reaching into the Umbra, something pulled instead of him.
Something old instead of him?
Something pulled instead of him.
Oh, pulled instead of him pulling.
Yep.
Okay. I have a lot of knowledge. Did I somehow figure out what's going on?
You have heard that sometimes, very rarely, when someone tries to step sideways into the Umbra, one of the other realms brushes up just a little too close, and you go there instead.
Okay.
Walks is in a different realm than the Umbra.
Okay. So I am carefully putting the glass back in the vials.
Yep.
I'm going to store them in my little skirt apron pocket, whatever it is that I have.
Mhm.
And I'm going to run back over and tell Cora what happened.
Okay. So, Cora's in the middle of a lesson. Some of the girls are sitting there just kind of like watching you and trying to sound out the words that you're currently on. And Liana bursts through. by yourself.
Cora, Walks got pulled into something while trying to do a ritual to get into the Umbra so we could figure out.
There's a hand that goes immediately over the mouth. Excuse me, ladies. I think our friend here is hysterical.
And as you leave, one of the girls like, "What do you think that Umbra meant? I never heard that word before.
Must be some engine stuff.
Must be some engine stuff."
It's a secret body part.
Ah!
Yeah, you take her outside of the room.
Take her to my office really quickly.
Yeah.
It's like, these people are not a part of our culture.
Oh, sorry.
They have no idea what you're talking about. And
Okay.
and when you say stuff like that, they start to ask questions, and then they start telling more people, and then that gets bad people to come here with silver weapons. And
I'm so
Very
sorry.
safe.
I'm just nervous.
it's
I don't
okay.
know where Walks is.
Okay, Walks is missing. Like, legit missing. He didn't turn into a wolf and smell the air
No.
3 times and then disappear.
No, so we were in the office and we had 2 different vials of glass, and he was spreading things out and started to do a ritual so that he could call upon spirits to help us explain something about it. And he got pulled through, and I don't know if he's in the Umbra or he's somewhere else. I know sometimes they can enter other realms. And I don't know if he's stuck somewhere, and I don't have the ability to get him back.
Okay. So you're telling me our Theurge, our spirit talker, spirit walker,
Mm-hmm.
has been grabbed
Mm-hmm.
while doing what his role is
Uh-huh.
in
1 second he was there, and the next second he was just gone. And there was a client in the office who started screaming, and I had to tell him that Walks just went out the back door.
Does Doc's office have a back door?
That's the other thing that I'm thinking about right here. Does Doc's office actually have a back door into the back?
Probably not.
Probably not. And so Doc must be thinking you're crazy right now.
Correct.
Okay. We've got to think about this strategically.
Do you think artists would know anything?
We might be able to ask Artis. She has interesting insights on occasion.
I just don't know what to do, and I've
We're
pretty much
going-
shared all of the knowledge that I have about what he was doing. I'm not sure. I don't think there's anywhere here that I can pull the resources and learn how to fix this.
It's fine. That's part of the reasons why we're here is there's a whole Karen that we could go to, even though I don't like asking them for shit. There's that, she has that smile, but then you see it drop, and there's a bit of that vitriolic rage there for a second. And it's okay. At least we're somewhat respected now. Somewhat. Let's go check on Artis. Maybe if we bring her, she might be able to smell something out. Or something.
That's a good plan.
She's got insight, even though she may be blind. She's surprisingly in the know, so.
The way to just put the blindness in there. Like, she's blind, but whatever.
She's surprisingly capable. We are not ableist here. We're all
Correct.
yeah. So we're gonna go knock on Artis's room.
The door kind of opens like it was left ajar, and the room is empty.
Artis goes
No,
in.
no noise.
Do you think she's at church?
It's not Sunday, is it?
It is Monday.
Do you think she could be at church anyways?
Possibly knowing her, but I would rather not go to the church on a Monday. It's enough of a problem going on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that hummingbird go?
I think we're gonna have to handle this on our own for today.
Yes. All right, let's go. Let's go take a look at the scene of the crime for a moment. And then we will go to the Karen.
Okay.
I know we have some crescent moons there. They may be busy, but this is important.
So as you
I'll
two,
follow you.
as you two head back to Doc's office, in Doc's office, on a very different side of the Umbra, we see walks, and everything on this side is muted, almost like black and white, like the color has been sapped from everything. And you can see that there's a couple of people just kind of hanging out in the office with you, but there's something off about them. You can see through them.
I know exactly what they're thinking. Yeah.
And they're all looking at you, eyes wide.
Hello?
This little cascade of hands coming up.
Do you know where we are?
And you see them all look at each other, and then one of them looks at you. Do you know where you are?
No.
Okay. You're alive,
Good.
and we're not.
Oh. Do I know what realm this is then, or
This
what
is
kind of-
the Dark Umbra.
Okay.
And you see them kind of,
Like Thor.
yeah, and they're in awe. Like their eyes are wide, and they start to kind of like gather around you. It's almost like reverence. Like they're in awe of you, and they're like kind of reaching out. They're not touching you, but they're definitely like hovering around you.
Like out of lack of being able to touch me, or just
No, no,
they're
they're
choosing not. Okay.
yeah. There's like this little aura, this little kind of not like a spiritual barrier where they just don't want to touch you. And you see one of them kind of like look over at nothing in particular. He just looks. He's like, "No, I'm not going to do that to this man." And he looks back.
Clarence?
Huh? No,
Clarence?
no. My name's Jeb. I think I've been here the longest, and everybody just kind of looks at each other and they nod. What is Walk's feeling right now?
Hungry.
Okay.
Like strangely hungry. Like we were eating earlier,
Yeah.
but I've got like a growing empty pit in my stomach.
Okay.
Sense of kind of lightening, and I don't like this place.
Yeah. And you'll you'll suddenly become aware of how you feel, and then you'll feel it sapped from you. And there's an emptiness in its place.
Do I know stories about the Dark Umbra or any
There's one tribe that comes and goes from the Dark Umbra, and very rarely do they do it, but it's the Silent Striders. They're the ones that have kind of been saddled, pun intended, with dealing with the restless dead.
I'm gonna try to just perhaps naively step back.
Okay. Yeah. And you feel the
It's
solid
not sideways, forwards, backwards, whichever way I've got to step.
Yeah, I know. And they haven't surrounded you. They're very much like in this kind of crescent shape where they just kind of, they're treating you almost like if they're seeing a deity for the first time in real life. Like there's this kind of like want to be in your area. They want to be near you. And as you step back, like you see them all kind of stop. And one of them's like, don't be afraid. We just want to help you. Are you feeling scared?
No, I just know that I should be home.
Okay, all right. Are you feeling brave?
No.
Oh. You gotta be feeling something.
Would you like that?
I mean, you can't just walk through life not feeling anything, right?
Right now, I'm walking through death.
You don't have to be afraid of the Shadowlands.
Shadowlands?
Make a willpower check for me.
Oh, I've got more of that than Gnosis.
Yeah. Good.
How did Walks die? These fucking dice.
And dice betrayed him.
I've got it's 5 dice, 2 1s, and then the next highest thing is a 6.
Okay. So at least you didn't botch because you did get one success. But you got a failure. And you see that they're talking amongst themselves, and some of them are kind of looking behind them and talking to thin air before turning back to looking at you. And there's this feeling. What would you say is a feeling all the way in the back of your head? Like, what is a feeling that you would protect? You would want to protect right now?
The confidence that I can get out of here.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And you see them all kind of like nodding at each other, and one of them looks at you, and there's this moment where he kind of reaches out and has this motion of him cupping something, and then one of your memories with your original grandfather is gone. And you see all of them huddle around him.
They seem distracted by this.
Yeah.
Does it, like in the mutedness of this place, does it look like it's still all like the regular physical world is represented here?
A little bit. You know that the table that was there isn't on this side. It feels like only the barber's chair, the bed, and that's it. Like, it's only things that have something of meaning to someone or some people.
I'm gonna try to make my way out and to the apple, the gilded apple,
You
because that's a place of safety, and that means a lot to a lot of people.
yeah, you come
I'll be
out,
there.
and there is this throng of people, and the sky is overcast. You don't feel it, but you see the wind whipping through people's clothing. You're unaffected by it. There is almost like a storm brewing on the horizon. And there's a moment where you see coming down the street this beautifully black obsidian coated wolf. He's not muted like the other people, like he's vibrant. And he's trucking past people. He is running towards you, and as he gets to you, you see him shift into his Hamid form. And he's simply dressed almost like an undertaker. And he kind of puts his hand on you, looks down at what you imagine is a locket of some kind, and then you feel him pull you with him into the regular Umbra and then out into the alley between Doc's office and the other building next to him. And you immediately throw up.
Thank you.
The Shadow Lord that you call Doc reached out to the cairn.
Do I recognize this person?
Yeah, it is a Silver Strider that comes and goes.
Mm.
I believe his name is Imwe.
Thank you, Imwe. I
Yeah.
don't know how that went so wrong.
There are few people who can travel into the realm of ghosts and return, my friend. I would not recommend you going back.
If I knew how I did, I certainly wouldn't do it again. It's just a simple summoning rite. Is there an awareness that, like, okay, this could just be that's what happens if I, like, my thumb slipped, or is this more like that happens because, like, bad juju on, like, the glass or on the
It could be either or. You don't have enough experience kind of bouncing between realms to pinpoint one way or the other. But as Cora and Liana are walking around the office, they'll suddenly hear this violent upchuck from outside. And you hear Walks talking to somebody.
Outside we go. I think that's
Walks! Walks! Are you okay?
I'm alive.
Yeah. And he's standing next to this olive-skinned gentleman, black hair, these deep brown eyes, very reminiscent to Cora of the Greek silhouette. Like, he's very much got the kind of very simple shirt with the little collar, the kind of leather binding as a tie, the slacks, no shoes. But he brings his hands up to his chest and he kind of bows to the two of you. And these, your friend has experienced a traumatic event, and I would recommend that he sit down for some time. Eat lots of sugar. You'll need it.
Understood. Thank you.
Do you know what could have sent me there?
There are some who try to
Signs?
pierce the gauntlet and overshoot. You might have been one of these people.
Sorry, Cora. I want to talk to a spider.
He
Your little
smiles.
spider friends?
He smiles and he kind of pats your shoulder. From now on, my friend, try to summon spirits from the Umbra side. It's easier for you.
It's all right. You're at least alive. And for that, I'm thankful.
Yeah.
Me too. I was so nervous.
They were only feeding on his emotions. They had not gotten to his life force yet.
Okay.
Do those come back?
Your emotions? Yes, they'll return.
Oh, good. I
But
need those.
If not, I'd happily give you some of mine. I'm anxious.
but if there was an MOI with them, some of your memories may be gone for good.
There was
Did
something.
you lose memories?
There are restless that feed off of memories. It sustains them for some time.
That's terrifying.
The MOI are the most dangerous of all of the ghosts.
One said his name was Jeb.
We'll ask around to see if perhaps he was a denizen of the town. But you see him kind of put his thumb to your forehead and then to the middle of your chest. Be well, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. I won't forget this.
Thank you.
Mm.
If you would ever like to be thanked properly, you could come over to the Gilded Apple and we would make sure that you are welcome.
I tried to stay away from the city, but I will make it a point to come out. He looks around, and then you see him shift down into his black wolf. Almost looks like a jackal more than a wolf. It's got the pointed kind of Doberman ears, a long, thin snout. But he's got that thick kind of wolf coat. And he kind of nods to the three of you, and then you see him start to trot away.
I should gather my supplies.
Yes, and I will want to thank... Oh, I wasn't here for that. He's the only one that knows Doc called.
Doc is Doc in his office?
No.
Oh.
He's still with the screaming guy.
Yeah, he's probably followed him to his house and dealt with him there.
Well, we could take the shards and at least go
We have
look
to
at
thank
them in
Doc
our place.
for calling.
I have them in my pocket.
Awesome. Let's get you back and get you some nice hot chocolate or something. Maybe
With
some
peace?
sweetened warm milk.
Yeah.
And as you're coming around, you'll hear, Doc, are you in? And as you come around, you'll see that there is a gentleman and a woman. Cora probably recognizes the woman from the Silver Star. But he kind of looks into the room, and he's like, "I'm sorry, Miss Daniels, it doesn't look like Doc's in. I can wait with you if you like." She goes, "I'd really like that, Riley. Thank you." And you see them kind of post up on the bench outside his office. He stands up and nods as the two of the ladies come around, and he kind of sits back down once you pass.
Before leaving, I would like to look for some surgical masks and take them to wear.
Not gonna find any.
Dang it!
The closest we're probably gonna get is taking
A bandana.
bandanas and filling it with charcoal a bit.
I think we should start doing that. Do you want this glass sickness?
No. But so far we haven't found out if
You're susceptible to it.
yeah. So far we do not know if Geru are susceptible.
Also, the germ theory of disease is
Yeah,
Not quite around
that's
yet.
like a new concept that's being argued about at this point in time,
Yeah.
if I remember
Right.
correctly.
yeah.
Yeah, fuck Louis Pasteur right
Yeah,
now.
he was-
None of you know
1850s.
this, but my brother is a doctor, so I'm just
Yeah.
always a little cautious.
Yeah. Don't even get me started. Florence Nightingale, the
Mhm.
the lady who inspires all nurses, didn't believe in germ theory. She just believed that you should wash your hands and clean your bedding.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's all. That was all it was. Is that she?
Cleanliness
thought
is next to
that way.
godliness.
Well, then she actually had charts that showed like you wash your hands and people live.
It has to
I
be
don't
the
know about
washing
that.
hands.
Mhm.
Yeah, you get back and Garrett happily puts on some hot cocoa, boils some milk, and just kind of drops a couple chunks of chocolate into it. And hands it to Walks. And you see that Kim and Clayton are kind of behind the bar. And as the three of you are there, Clayton kind of looks at him and goes, Mr. Garrett, could you tell Miss Layla that I'll be right up to help with pulling her trunk out? And he's like, I mean, that can wait, right? He's like, if Miss Cora needs anything, I'd rather be here. And he's like, all right, I guess. And he kind of gives Cora a side eye, but he goes upstairs, and Clayton leans over. Is everything all right? I heard the howling.
He was a little shaky.
Dark Umbra.
Something happened, and now he's got himself spooked.
Understood. I just didn't know if there was any trouble, since it's rare to hear a wolf cry in the middle of town.
There's also some sickness going around, so be careful.
All right. And he pulls a bandana out of a pocket and he ties it around his neck. I'll wash my hands.
Good.
I asked the ladies if they need anything before dismissing them from your class, Miss Cora. I hope you don't mind.
I do not mind. It was a situation.
Understood. And he sees Garrett, and he kind of knocks on the bar 2 times and walks around and trades places with him, and he runs upstairs. Yeah, but Garrett comes around the bar and is like, he's awfully eager to help out whenever I don't need him to help out.
People like to feel useful.
I guess. You guys need anything? You doing all right?
I'm doing. Leanna, do you need anything?
I think I'm just gonna sit and play some piano, and that should calm me down.
Okay.
All right.
Do you need a shoulder rub, Walks, or? or
No,
something?
I feel better. Yeah, look a little bit more at the glass for a little bit, so I don't lose. I feel like I still saw things in there.
Mm.
Something about, and these are how someone died. It's all that we have left. And I saw all the dead. And there's something connected here. Was that Layla's boy that we passed leaving docks?
Riley? No.
Oh.
Riley works at the Silver Star.
Who's Miss Danielson?
She also
That's not the
works at the
Countess?
Silver
It is-
Star.
Oh,
It is not the
okay.
Countess.
Yeah. That's in the other place.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gold digger is.
The Countess is Vanessa Smythe.
Mm-hmm.
There are
Okay,
so many
that's
characters.
entirely, that was all walks being like, was that late? Because that's the last
Yeah.
conversation. I was just listening in on that conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there are 3
There are
brothels.
so many people that I don't know because I'm still new to this town.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay.
I think my cat is playing with an eraser
No. But you're gonna be in
that he just stole from my desk.
you're gonna be in Cora's office looking at the glass?
That's probably
Yeah.
for the best.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't want this around. Now I see it as, something specifically hazardous.
Sure.
And I'm just no more rituals. No more rituals today, but
Yeah.
Maybe no more rituals for a week.
no, this
Oh,
kind
that
of thing
would be
happens.
limiting our spirit talkers'
Yeah.
ablutions.
But you lay your thing out, and you can see that some of the indentations of your finger, where you drew the webbing on the handkerchief, are still there. And as you lay out the glass, you actually will see this little blue, kind of almost broken splinter of a spider crawl up from underneath the table onto the web that you drew.
It's been so long.
And its little
Oh, so it worked.
its little front hand
they're
kind
also
of comes
just around.
up. Yeah.
High five, spider.
And it kind of looks at its appendage, and then it kind of walks over to one of the glass pieces.
This is your purview. Walks with
I
spirits.
try to nudge the bit of glass over to it.
It is trepidatious, and you see it kind of circle the glass once before it puts its appendage on it. And when it does, you'll see this kind of storm of just this lightning flash in the glass when he does it, and then it becomes saliva.
Weaver. Is the spider still like there, or is it like?
Yeah, no,
Did
it's
something happen to it
it's
with it?
confused. It's looking at its appendage, like it brings it up to its face, and you see its little mandibles kind of like.
Do you know these pieces?
After a moment, you see it brings its appendage in front of it, and it bites off the end of its appendage.
Are we under the impression that it's burnt or like fried?
No, because the moment that he removes it from himself, his appendage become the bit that he bit off becomes black, and then it stains the actual handkerchief. There's this little line of just blackness that's become part of the handkerchief.
What?
Weaver.
How big is little spider?
Size of a dime.
Oh, okay. That's big enough that we can like see what's happening.
Yeah, he's manifested.
Weaver
It's manifested.
spirits are beings of order, right?
Mm-hmm.
Logic? So it touched it, brought it back to the state it was supposed to be in. So glass to saliva. But then it became tainted itself.
That seems right. I thought saliva to glass sounds like Weaver taking the nature and pulling it into something rigid and ordered and solid. But if it affects the spider this way,
You see it go over to the cork that the vial had, and it stands up on top of it. Excuse me. And it'll start to decompose. Like you'll see it. The cork starts to decompose as it's being eaten up, and its appendage reforms.
I almost suddenly thought we had a massive taint situation on our hands for a second.
It was repairing. It was repairing its damage.
Yeah.
sorry, little one.
Yeah.
And I'll, in whatever way, just let it go or
It kind of points at the other pieces of glass that you have, and then it looks up in your direction.
bad.
Yeah, little mandibles move up and down.
Thank you. Well, this is no good.
No, it is not. And I'm a little worried that we have more vermin at the gold digger.
Oh,
You think this is coming from the gold digger?
Well, as a proprietor of the Gilded Apple, I always think anything that goes wrong is because of them. But that's not what I'm intuiting.
Shelbyville.
Leanna, you haven't been here long, but the thing is, the gold digger seems to have a population of vampires.
Oh. And then Liana goes silent.
Which was ironically related to another series of vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the same, maybe not, but
Okay. Ghosts and vampires in one day.
Mm-hmm. The gunslinger is still living in the gold digger, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, I thought he had left town.
No,
he's biding his time.
He's there on security detail.
Mm-hmm.
But vampires...
He shot me.
He shot me twice, 3 times, maybe? Silver burns, by the way. And bullets are terrible. But I think the way Layla's friend reacted to her. And then on top of the fact that he works at the Gold Digger.
And
leads
they
to
do things
some-
like this?
I don't know. I know they can mess with your head on occasion. I know they can move really fast.
Yes, I remember that.
But normally they're physically not as strong as us.
I didn't think they had magics or curses or things of this
That's
type.
what I'm thinking too. Would they have the ability to perform some type of magic to curse these people?
That's the
And
thing,
if
I
they
don't
did,
know.
why would they want to?
Trying to get specific people out of the way, maybe. Wife of the general store owner or sister-in-law or something like that.
We might want to check on Doc. The man that he brought in was coughing just like he said that these people were coughing.
And he's been exposed to all of them.
But he's also one of us.
But if this is
If this is something that can hurt us, that says that goes beyond. But yes, I agree. We should check on Doc.
I could try to heal the patient. That might give information on what this is.
Do we have enough knowledge for healing?
The mother's touch is powerful. I've never seen
Have you
magic
ever attempted
disease.
it on a human?
Ooh. Yes. I mean, unless that's mechanically something that is.
I don't think it is, but
forbidden.
it's something that Cora would have asked just out
Yeah.
of.
Okay. I just want to make sure that it's not.
You can use it on anybody.
Yeah. Okay.
I could
Yes.
see
I
my Cora's mindset of like, would that work on a normie? You know? The thing.
when I would reach the extent of what nature could provide on its own to help people, I would sometimes try to use gifts if it was very serious. And it seemed to always work. It takes a lot less to help a human normally.
Well, I guess this is going to be a way for you to make it up to Doc as she kind of claps him on the shoulders. Because he came specifically asking for you to help him with this.
And he got me saved too.
Mm-hmm.
If it weren't for him,
I don't know how we were going to get you back. My next
don't know
thought
how it
was to
would've
go to
come back.
the Karen myself and ask for help. And you know how I feel about that.
Thank you.
I'm just glad you're safe. And she, she did the little squeeze on the shoulders, kind of with that, like that. I'm mad at you for a moment, but then it definitely lessened into more of a comforting. I'm very happy that you're still with us.
I will say it wasn't a dangerous ritual that I was trying to.
It really
I
wasn't.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember a saying from one of my aunts. All rituals are dangerous if something goes wrong.
Wise. Do we know where Julius stays?
Probably out west by the By the miners?
Mining camps. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he is a prospector.
Hmm.
I think we should go.
Okay. Clayton, are you going to be all right manning the front all by yourself for a moment?
No, I mean, I got Garrett.
Well, of course.
But yeah, I see what you mean. I'll be fine.
Okay. And as we're walking out, she does the thing where it's like, make sure you keep an eye on everything.
But you guys go out, and it's not hard to ask around and find out where Julius lives. A lot of people have been complaining about him being really vocal about seeing a man disappear. And when you get there, you can
We
see...
had met Julius before, right?
No.
Did he stumble in through? No. I remember a random prospector who we didn't interact with again.
They're around.
Yeah.
They're all pretty much
I know
cookie
which one you're
cutter.
thinking about.
Yeah, we had one or two. Okay.
That have been marked for death that needed to get ripped apart by werewolves.
Yeah, no, Julius is not one of those.
Well, that was different ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember maintenance.
Yeah. But no, there's you come, and he's got a little hovel out on the edge, and you hear the Doc is still with him. You can smell the coffee. It actually smells like good coffee. It looks like Doc took what he learned from Garrett to heart. And when you get there, you can see that Doc notices you through the window. And he's like, all right, Julius, I'm going to step outside. I need some fresh air. I think what's best for you is to just sit here, kind of close your eyes, and count backwards from 10 to 0. And just kind of see and hear that there's nothing here that's going to hurt you, and there's no such thing as disappearing men, all right? If there was, they would have been here with the circus, and you know what happened to that. And he's like, okay, all right. I'm gonna try that. And he closes his eyes and he starts at 10. And then he goes to 9 and Doc comes out. Kind of looks at Walks. Where the fuck did you go?
Thank you.
Scared this man half to death.
I scared myself all the way to death.
Fuck, that's rough. Yeah, when your associate told me that you went out the back door, I knew something had gone wrong. I don't have a back door.
I panicked. I didn't know what else to say.
No, I noticed.
I just hope Julius is okay now.
He will be. He's not too bright, but you know, with the right coaxing and the right therapy, I think he'll be fine.
Does he have the illness that's going around?
Yep. And you see him with like a bare hand just hold out a glass shard that he took.
Oh.
Be careful with that.
It's soft. Doesn't have any rough edges.
No. We had a weaver spirit try to touch it. I thought perhaps this is a curse from the weaver.
What happened?
The natural fluids becoming, organized glass, solid and hard.
It's a good leap. I like it. Solid.
I'll pull out the handkerchief and show the little black mark. It's like this was the leg that it touched it with.
That's
The
where my
glass
handkerchief
went
went.
back.
He grabs it from me.
The glass went back to spit,
Hmm.
and the spirit was damaged, was undone
Hmm.
by taking whatever the process was backwards.
I hate to do this because it's going to require me to talk to Charlie at the cairn. But I'm going to have to send the spirit out to the east side. See if we can get us an Iron Rider or two to come out.
You think they would know something?
They're the ones that have started to become close with the Weaver.
But if this hurt the Weaver, it doesn't seem like it would be of the Weaver's making.
Well, you said the spider touched it and it reverted to its original state, so to me that tells me that the Weaver is responsible. Or a Weaver adjacent spirit.
It could be. It could be.
Yeah.
That it was taking back in. Yes, I don't know.
I think you were right, Miss Leon. I think we need to look at the bodies.
I had another thought of something we might learn, which was to try to heal Julius with my healing gift.
If you want to try that, I don't particularly think that would be a good idea, considering that you are the man that disappeared in front of him. And seeing you might inflame his anxiety again.
What do you think, Cora? I wouldn't want to hurt him further. But
I think
maybe seeing me he'll know that I didn't disappear.
I'm kind of on that track as well. I think maybe if we can show him that he didn't disappear and he just snuck away real fast, maybe things will be better.
I have an idea. As Cora pulls her hair down and she takes the bodice, unties it to the standard fashion that it's normally in, and then tightens it up and wraps it around the back. Well, try it this way. I'll go
We'll
in,
try it with boobs.
get him comfortable and relaxed. I'm not going to do anything crazy. He's sick. But be a comforting presence. And we'll try and ease you in. How's that?
Do you want me to remain hidden from him?
Not exactly. I think you'll go in with me, but I'm going to try
Okay.
and distract him with
Oops.
comfort.
Yes.
Your breasts.
Yes.
Yes.
I think let's have you come in after he's been plied with worldly desire. So he's a little easier to handle if he gets excitable. You have to remember that Julius is, like many people in the town, what professionally my people would call fucking idiot.
Common thing amongst humans.
You'd be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And some Hamid born. But that's neither here nor there. He goes over the door. Julius, I got a surprise for you. Are you in a state to receive company? And he's like, yeah. What do you got? What do you got out there?
And Cora just kind of comes to the doorway. Hello, Julius.
He immediately sits up. Oh, I wasn't.
No. Stay laying down. I know you're sick.
Oh,
I heard from Doc.
oh, uh,
Just relax.
oh,
I'm just here to give you a little bit of comfort. I know you don't have a wife
no, no,
and you're absolutely sick and need a little attention. A little womanly attention.
that would be really nice. Yes.
And she is going to gently like pull a chair or something next to his bedside for a moment.
Yeah.
And she probably gets like a wet rag to put on his forehead. It's
Yeah.
okay. And she's doing the very fawning nurse type.
He immediately puts his
Lean
hand on your
over.
thigh.
Yep. She doesn't even balk. You know, it's that sort of thing.
Right. And at that point, Doc is like, this makes you feel good, right, Julius? Like you are feeling invigorated, like you are feeling the health kind of blossom back in your. And he holds his hand out the doorway and he kind of just motions.
And
And he's got his eyes closed. He's just like squeezing Cora's thigh and just kind of has this big dopey smile on his face.
Definitely a
and
distinctive look to Leanna that says, all men are dogs. That's that kind of.
Mhm.
I'll
Leon
try
on
to
nods in agreement.
circle around and look to Cora for like, the nudging, nodding, whatever direction she may give. And then I'll take my hand and put it on his chest.
Okay. Yeah, he's like leaning over to put his other hand on her other thigh, and then there's a moment where he just kind of his chest comes in contact with your hand, and his eyes open up. Go ahead and use your gnosis point for
Yeah. So let me see.
Can I, at
Mother's
that
touch.
same moment, lean a little bit more and maybe accidentally smash his face a little bit into the boobs?
Sure.
Just a little. Oh, let me fix that bedding.
So yeah, spend gnosis and then intelligence plus medicine.
No, you don't need to roll. He's a human.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you don't
gotta
need to
roll for
roll like
Garen.
supernaturals.
Mm.
Yeah, it just costs you your gnosis point, and there's a moment where he just kind of buries his face in the pectorals,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's like, "Ah, sweet Jesus," and then Doc kind of comes over, ushers, walks out, puts his hand on Julius's leg. He's like, all right, you had enough. I don't want you to get too excited. Now, what you need now is to rest. All right, now you go to sleep. I guarantee you tomorrow you'll feel much better.
Everything in moderation, Julius. Taps gently on the cheek.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that he didn't immediately explode into shards of glass.
Yeah. And as Cora gets up, like he puts his hand on the back of your thigh and just like, I would like very much for this to happen again.
Well, you have to get better first, right?
All right. And Doc helps you out, and he just stays there. He's just like, hey, I'm gonna stay with you for a couple more minutes just to make sure that you're not excitable, that you get some rest, and then I'm gonna head back to my office. All right, Julius? And he's like, okay, yeah. And after a bit, if you're close enough to the window, you'll see that Doc is listening to him just kind of like babble on about like how soft Cora's thighs were and how he thoroughly enjoyed like burying his face in her bosom. And Doc just kind of like shakes his head. Has a moment he kind of like, I know, and he puts his hand on Julius's forehead, and Julius just knocks out immediately. And you'll see a couple of like rabbit spirits run out of the room. And Doc comes out. I hate to use gifts on peasants like him, but Jesus, that man would have talked my ear off.
I bet so.
All right, to the graveyard.
And just FYI,
Mhm.
if I'm going to say that never happened.
Understood.
He dreamed it.
Now, storyteller. So,
Yeah.
did I get any kind of sense from that? The healing performed, because that is what I mean. I'm reminded of the cleric trying to heal somebody taken by a
Yeah.
and that kind of feedback or sensation to have any kind of
Because there wasn't any visible wound, there wasn't any visual confirmation that your gift worked. But you do know that after the kind of touching event that happened, after you touched them, after he was touching Cora, like, he stopped coughing. And like, even now, as you were talking with Doc outside, he's kind of low snoring, kind of quiet snore. He's out like a lamp.
well, perhaps
If you want to
this
go in
isn't
there and put your finger in his throat, you're more than welcome to.
No,
Yes,
I
go in
was
there,
thinking
wake him
more,
up, and screaming, freak out all of
Yeah.
a sudden.
I have returned.
Yeah.
Does Walk
Yes, you have
experience
the
anything like the spider with his fingers? Or is Walks okay?
Oh, Walks is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, what I mean when I meant like feeling anything, I was like, was there some like juju from it? Was it like,
No, I know what
"Ooh,
you
yeah,
meant,
yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
curious if you experienced similar thing to Spider Spirit.
Yeah, hopefully tomorrow my arm doesn't fall off. I don't have as many.
Right?
You can't really grow them back.
You
Oh wait,
can
yeah,
try
you
eating
can
cork.
actually.
Yeah, you
You're
can.
you're a Garu.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Yeah,
Walk it off.
you got plenty.
I always walks it off.
I didn't realize I made a pun, but yeah.
Yeah. But as you go and follow Doc to the church graveyard, you'll see that there's two wooden crosses that have been knocked over and two holes in the ground where bodies used to be. And I think this is a good point to call it for tonight.
Fucking knew it.
So thank you guys for coming back.
Bigger from to the ground.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. So I want to thank you guys for coming back. I want to thank the audience for coming back. I hope you guys are enjoying the story. It's been a long time, and I'm excited to get back into it. Then maybe next time we'll have our little blind artist to help give insights, especially since she's probably been at the church all day.
I'm pretty sure she's been in the graveyard.
Digging up
Hey
bodies.
guys, guess what I found?
I found these holes in the ground.
It would have just been funnier with Artis here. I'd be like, Liana, distract Artis while I do this. Because there's no reason she needs to know
Honestly,
about this.
That probably would have been better for Liana. Liana was
Artist would have wanted to do it herself. I can
Artist is
comfort him.
going to exhume the bodies by herself. Artist does love dirt.
She does.
Mm-hmm.
She loves everything tactile.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for coming back. I'm glad that we got to pull this off. I know it's been a rough year, but I'm excited to see the curveballs because I had to throw away the whole Farah angle, but I came up with something I think is much more devious, and giving you downtime to put in experience points just means I can get that much more creative.
That was the thing. The moment I knew you were gonna have us spend experience, I knew it. I was like, he's got a new idea.
There's only one
He's going
reason
to
he'd
torment
want
us
us
even
to.
more, and we need to have more points in things to be able to deal with it, or else it's gonna be a TPK. Ha ha ha!
I made myself so much smarter than I already was,
Okay,
and I'm really excited about it.
sure.
Woo.
So, as always, I want to give you guys a chance to plug whatever you're into. So let's start with Liana. Liana, what are you up to, and where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
I am up to life. I work, I play, cook, try to sleep. It doesn't work very well. You can find me here, not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, where we will be playing again.
Mhm.
Other than that, don't come hunting. I don't know you.
Perfect. Cora, what are you up to? Where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
You can always find me at the Goth Fury Corn, because I am a furious unicorn. But you can find me under that on like Sky and the not so fun Bird app and things like that. And obviously you can find me on Instagram, but I don't really do much on Instagram. I'm more on Blue Sky than anything else. Recently I haven't been doing much on the stream side. It's been just this game, but things are getting better. Every step is a move forward. So who knows?
Excellent.
I might have something else to say in
Okay.
the future.
And Walks, what are you up to? Where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
Nah, I'm good. Thank you though for the
Always,
interest.
always gotta ask. Always gotta ask.
Sometimes I'll plug things again, but
But yes, I will say that I am excited for Andor season 2 since you're in charge of that Star Wars website, the collected history of like old lore.
it's sw420.com.
SW420.com, bro.
Still not really live, but got about 500,000 pages on
Jesus.
so far.
I might be pulling on that because I'm thinking of bringing back Star Wars at some point. So,
Mhm.
but
the only way to detangle the old lore from new lore.
right. But as always, please take care of yourselves. Please know that it is okay to not be okay. And if you need help and you're watching live, there's phone numbers going up in our Twitch chat. They'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube at your leisure. So just please know that there are people out there who want to help you, who are trained to help you, and you should take advantage of it while we still have access to it, because of the bullshit regime that is cutting everything that could be of use to regular everyday Americans. So please know that there are still some resources out there for you. If you're not in the United States or you don't do well with phone numbers and calling people and text messages, you can go to findahelpline.com. It'll help you find the resources in the area nearest you and kind of access points and direct you to people that can help you. So just know that it is okay to not be okay, and taking that first step is always going to be the hardest, but it's going to be the most rewarding. So take care of yourself, please, because the world is a better place with you guys in it. So as always, we will see you here on Mondays for our Vampire the Masquerade show. Tuesdays are alternating between Werewolf the Wild West and Scion First Edition, which kicks off next week. And then Thursdays are for Legend of the Five Rings or 7th Sea. You can also find me every Wednesday whenever we have a Wednesday slot over at the McStabber Studios, since I've infiltrated all of their World of Darkness games with my nonchalantness and lovable scampness. And sometimes I'll pop up on a Friday. Yeah, sometimes I'll pop up on a Friday stream where I get to play the best sire in all of Kansas City, Rurik Rakosi, where I sometimes antagonize the coterie. But it's all in love and the name and in the name of joy and spreading love, obviously. So If you need any help swallowing that amount of sarcasm, please let me know. I have phone numbers for you. But as always, please be safe out there, and we will see you when we see you guys. Bye.